establishment of the industrial courts. We have the trade union, it is good, but then we also need to realize that the mechanism for dispute resolution, there could be concerns about the accessibility and effectiveness, particularly in rural and undeserved regions. We have seen examples where Chinese employees quarrel, fight, throw stones and other things at employers, local employers, and then they want to resort to proper conflict mechanism, but then they don't have access, and then they are afraid sometimes to go to court. So the establishment of the industrial court alone is not enough, but we also need to ensure we inject equity and fairness so that they are accessible and result-oriented. So we need to develop a dispute resolution mechanism that includes local mediation centers and use of digital platform to facilitate accessible and efficient resolution. And most importantly, Mr. Speaker, the issue of monitoring and evaluation. Sometimes you come here, we establish bodies, we establish agencies, we establish institutions. There was an argument when the 44th President of the United States visited Ghana. He said, Africa, we no longer need strong men. He said, what we need are strong institutions. But sometimes Parliament without the actors, without actors that are keen for the country and the people, it becomes an ordinary building. It will not be an institution. So it is the same thing with these structures, the trade unions, the consultative committee, the ministries. If they don't have actors that are committed for the country, for people, that are concerned about the issue of eradicating poverty, hunger, and other things. And sometimes they say power corrupts, but absolute power corrupts absolutely. When you form a joint consultative committee of 16 members, you say you have members from the drivers' union, members from the trade union. Some of them are vulnerable to corruption and bribery. They pass laws that are not in favor of the general population. Trade is a fundamental aspect of every economy. So we need to ensure. That's why I also want to draw your attention to section 15, the powers of the Joint National Negotiating Board. If you go to section 15, clause 15, you will see where it says the Joint National Negotiating Board shall have the sole power to A, fix national minimum rate of pay public holidays, and maximum hours of work. I want to appeal to this House, Mr. Speaker, that include in this clause to be approved by Parliament. The reason, Parliament, we are the representatives of the people, and we have committees that could proper checks and balances. A team like this, they have the capacity, they know what will be happening in the labor market, but then they may be vulnerable to corruption and bribery. So that is why it is important for you to add in this clause, not just for them to approve a minimum wage, but also for that to be approved, for them to proffer, but that to be approved by the Parliament of Sierra Leone, because we are the people's representative. And then, Mr. Speaker, so on the issue of monitoring and evaluation, we need to ensure, just like the feed salon, today we have launched the feed salon, we are coming with input, but without proper monitoring and evaluation, we cannot achieve what we expect. So at the end of the day, my fundamental recommendation in this area is to establish an independent review board to monitor the outcome of the act and recommend adjustment based on empirical evidence. So in summary, Mr. Speaker, what could be injected into this to improve, to ensure we achieve the desired result for this bill is one, inclusivity in representation, taking into consideration gender, disability, and other vulnerable groups. Capacity building for the Labour Department, public awareness campaign, enhanced dispute resolution mechanism, monitoring and evaluation. In all of this, we should look at these issues from a concrete, sustainable lens, drawing on the issue of rapport, the issue of equity, the issue of human rights, and social security. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Honorable.